In a world where sitcoms and TV series frequently provide heartfelt moments between family members, the interwoven plots of young Sheldon and Georgie and Mandy's first marriage have captured the hearts of viewers. One significant and often overlooked aspect of the storytelling is the return of Lance Barber, who plays the character of George Cooper Sr. In a bold move, the showrunners of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage revealed that bringing Barber back was a kind of apology for his untimely death in the parent series Young Sheldon. This return, filled with heartfelt moments, brings closure to fans who were left puzzled by George's early exit from the larger Sheldon universe. A tangled web of timelines. The universes of Young Sheldon and The Big Bang Theory are connected in unexpected and exciting ways. Young Sheldon follows Sheldon Cooper's childhood, focusing on his growth and his relationship with his family, while The Big Bang Theory explores the life of Sheldon as an adult. However, it's George Cooper Sr.'s death that looms over both shows. His character's untimely death in Young Sheldon was portrayed in an emotionally charged episode, casting a long shadow over Sheldon's family dynamic. The passing of George Sr. left many fans in mourning, questioning how the character's storyline had been handled and why his life was so abruptly cut short in the larger series. However, with Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, there came an unexpected twist. In the newly crafted show, which revolves around Sheldon's older brother Georgie and his relationship with Mandy, the showrunners made the decision to bring Lance Barber back. While this might seem like a creative choice rooted in narrative expansion, the deeper implication is one of restitution for an earlier mistake, the killing off of George Sr. in Young Sheldon. The apology unveiling the true intentions behind the return. Lance Barber's return as George Sr. was not just a convenient plot device, but an emotional redemption arc for fans who were left with questions surrounding his abrupt departure. In an interview with the show's creators, it was revealed that Barber's return was partially driven by the need to make amends for the way George's character was handled in Young Sheldon. George Sr. had been portrayed as a flawed but loving father, and his death marked a pivotal moment in the series. Fans were left to ponder the reasons behind his early passing, and many felt that the character was deprived of a deeper exploration of his complexities. One of the executive producers behind Georgie and Mandy's first marriage explained, "When we decided to bring Lance Barber back for this show, it felt like a way to make things right. There was always something unfinished about George's story in Young Sheldon. He was taken from us too soon, and we wanted to provide closure for the character and for the fans who connected with him." This thoughtful decision to resurrect Barber's character speaks to a deeper respect for storytelling. In Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, George Sr. is given the opportunity to show a different side of himself, one that had been lost in the earlier narrative. The character's return is not a mere nostalgic cameo, but a chance to explore the complexities of his relationships with his children, particularly Georgie, and to address unfinished business. Exploring the complexity of George Sr. In Young Sheldon, George Sr. was often portrayed as a tough but loving father, someone who had to balance the challenges of raising a family while dealing with his own personal struggles. His relationship with Sheldon, in particular, was fraught with tension. However, despite the difficult moments, it was clear that George Sr. deeply cared for his family. His death, which was shown to be sudden and heart-wrenching, left an emotional void in Sheldon's life, and the family dynamic was never quite the same afterward. The choice to bring Barber's George Sr. back in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage allows for a more nuanced exploration of the characters' relationships. In the new series, we see George Sr. in a different light, where his bond with Georgie is explored more deeply. The father-son dynamic, which had been largely absent from Young Sheldon, is given room to breathe in this spin-off. Viewers are treated to a George Sr. who is more vulnerable, who reflects on his past mistakes, and who attempts to mend his fractured relationship with his son. In doing so, the show humanizes George in a way that was not fully explored before, and this journey toward redemption is a significant part of what makes Georgie and Mandy's first marriage so compelling. It's as if the creators are finally providing George Sr. with the kind of depth that was lacking in young Sheldon. A response to the fans. While the resurrection of George Sr. is a bold narrative choice, it is also a response to the fans who have voiced their discontent with how the character was treated in young Sheldon. Since George's death in the main series, there has been an outpouring of support for the character and a desire for more screen time. Fans found themselves questioning why George, who is a central figure in the Cooper family, was taken away so quickly. They wanted more of his story, and Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has been the perfect platform to deliver just that. The return of Lance Barber's George Sr. in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage has allowed fans to revisit the character with a fresh perspective. It offers them the chance to witness the nuances of George's role in his family's life, which was previously overshadowed by his death. The series allows George Sr. to take on a more active role, exploring his relationships with his children in ways that felt unfinished before. In many ways, it's a love letter to fans who felt that George's life was cut short before his full story could be told. The legacy of George Sr. Ultimately, the decision to bring Lance Barber back as George Sr. speaks volumes about the legacy of the character and the respect the creators have for the fans. While the death of George Sr. in young Sheldon was a pivotal and emotional moment, the showrunners of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage understand that there is more to George than just his demise. By giving him the opportunity to return and have his story explored further, they've not only created a richer narrative, but also honored the fans who longed to see more of the character. In many ways, George Sr.'s return is an acknowledgement that stories don't always end when characters leave the screen. The evolution of young Sheldon and the creation of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage highlights the power of storytelling to evolve and grow, providing closure where it was once denied and giving fans the satisfaction of seeing beloved characters receive the attention and care they deserve. By bringing Lance Barber's George Sr. back to life, the showrunners have ensured that George's legacy continues, and in doing so, they've given both the character and the fans the resolution they so rightly deserve.